All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. So let's just get right into this. Today we're going to be talking about the two major L's for white supremacy. Number one would be the Proud Boys. You know, that group of grown men that like to cosplay, and they thought they were going to bring the Confederacy back. Yeah, they just lost the rights to their name in court, and their logo and their merchandise and pretty much everything to the DC AME Church not too long ago. And number two is, if that wasn't embarrassing enough for white supremacy, let's do a throwback and go back to Mrs. Beulah May Donalds, who's the black woman who sued the KKK back in 1981. And yeah, she won millions, and she forced them to sell off their buildings and their robes, kind of like a big giant racist yard sale. So now let's talk about what this really means, because at the end of the day, racism isn't just evil, it's expensive. And who's paying for it? Everybody. But before we get into that, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to share this video, and please, by all means, subscribe and leave a comment. You know, even if you hate my guts, leave a comment anyway. It really helps with the algorithm. I'd really appreciate that. And because, you know what, we're about to really break this all the way down so that you can understand how expensive racism really is for us here in America. So first up, we have the Proud Boys. You know, a group of grown men dressed up in polos who think that it's okay to be violent towards people because, you know, they tell them that racism is bad, so they're not very mature. They attacked the DC AME Church, a historical black church, because, well, you know, they hate black people and thought that there wouldn't be any consequences. They were wrong. And that lawsuit, they lost. They didn't just have to write like some apology letter to say, oh, we're sorry for being racist pricks. No. No, the judge said, no, I'm going to take your government name and your entire brand. Say, what? Yes, that's right. She took it all from him. She said, no more Proud Boys name, no more merchandise sales, and no more gun GoFundMes to bail yourselves out of jail. All of it gone. She said, we're going to take everything. Everything. She said, we taking it all. So what does this mean? Well, this means that if any of them so much as print a bumper sticker, the DC AME Church owns it. They got to pay up the cheddar. And you know what they're not going to do? They're not going to let these fools make a dime off their hate and racism. That's what we call consequences. So and you may say, wow, that's pretty bad. No, it gets worse. So back in the day, you know, the KKK has been sued several times. So this is nothing new, which shows you that racist white supremacists never learn from history. So the KKK has been taking L's for years on their racism. We'll talk about Miss Beulah Donalds, for example. So she's a black woman who said, you know what? I don't like the fact that y'all exist. And I'm tired of y'all hurting black folks. You know what? I'm going to take y'all to court for killing my brother. And you know what she did? She won. The jury hit them with a multi-million-dollar judgment. The Klan had to sell off their main headquarters just to pay her. And then the white supremacists literally lost the hoods off their backs. So history repeats itself with the Proud Boys. They just found out the same thing that the KKK did. Racism is bad for business. But you think that would be it. No. So that's just tiny microcosm of the racism. It's a little bit. So let's zoom all the way out and see the whole picture and find out what the real cost of this is. So racism, it's not just a moral failure. It's not evil. It's a financial disaster. The U.S. loses trillions of dollars in economic and potential value over racism, systemic discrimination in housing, health care, education, and jobs. It isn't just unethical. It drains the economy. Even corporations are learning that pandering to bigots will cost you money. Look at Bud Light, look at Target, look at Walmart, look at all these corporations that decided that woke and DEI was a bad thing and got rid of those programs. It's not turning out too well. So if you just really want to think about it, if racism was so good for America, why is every major white supremacist movement either in debt, in jail, or both? If it's so good, why is it costing them so much money? Who knows? But let's be real. Black people didn't invent racism. And we sure as hell aren't going to be the ones that should be responsible for ending racism. We'll never stop or end racism. The only way that racism will end is when white people stop being racist, stop funding racist institutions, stop electing racist politicians, and stop getting defensive every time they get called out for being racist. We don't need your thoughts and prayers. What we need is action. Because the Proud Boys and the KKK can lose millions for their nonsense. Imagine what would happen if racism wasn't propped up at every level of society. Just think about the money that regular people could have in their pockets if they stopped propping up racism. But my final thoughts on this are, y'all, white supremacy is always going to be a losing investment. And we've got the receipts to prove it. The Klan lost, the Proud Boys lost, and every single racist movement in history has eventually lost, either in court, in bankruptcy, or in irrelevance. America's future, what's America going to do? Well, it's either going to be multiracial and just, or broke and failing, but you're going to have to pick a side. So, all right, that's it for my video today. Thank you for joining me for another season of Find Out after they've effed around. And I want you to like, share, and subscribe. And please, in the comments, let me know what's the next white supremacist group that you think is about to go broke. With that being said, have a wonderful evening, good night, and have a melanated tomorrow.